Hello, I am Professor Kalpesh Patel, Electrical Engineering Department from the Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Our subject is Pyrotechnics 1 and the subject code is 3140915 of the BE third year 5th sem. And second chapter name is DC to DC converter switching voltage regulators. This is the flow of contents. So up to the closed loop control of voltage regulations are we completed. So in this lecture we will conduct the forward converters, which is also known as the isolated converters. Isolated converter, that means it isolated between the two circuits, primary circuit and secondary circuit, as well as we can say that input circuit and output circuit. That means there is no physical connection between the input and output as in the DC to DC converter like a buck boost and buck boost converter, which are known as the non-isolated converter. So these two converters, flyback converter and forward converter, are known as the isolated converters. So the first one is the forward converter. Forward converter is another popular switch mode power supply, that means SMPS circuit, that is used for the producing isolated and controlled DC output from the unregulated DC input supply. Unregulated, that means input is not purely DC or it is vary from and its magnitude is variable. The forward converter, when compared with the flyback circuit, it is generally more energy efficient and used for application requiring a little higher power output, like 100 watts to the 200 watts. So basic topology of the forward converter, it consists of fast switching device, which is indicated by the S in the circuit, along with its control circuit. That means control circuit control the switching of the switch, semiconductor switch. A transformer with its primary winding is connected in series with the switch S to the input supply and rectification, and the filter circuit of the transformer are connected in secondary windings. So the load is connected across the rectified output voltage and transformer secondary. So this is the basic configuration of the forward converter, in which the primary winding is connected in series with the switch with the input supply, and the secondary is connected through the load with the LC filters. So here D1 diode and D2 diode are used as a rectifying purpose. That means it's convert AC to DC. So NP indicate the primary turns and NS indicate the secondary turns. So this dot indicate that when these two polarity are same, that means if we turn on the switch, this polarity become positive. So indicate that this terminal of the secondary winding is also become the positive. That means in this case the diode D1 is in forward bias conditions. So its power is transferred from primary to secondary, and this when switch is off, so this negative terminal become positive. So this become positive. In this case the diode D1 in reverse bias conditions. So when diode is in forward bias conditions, the current is flow through L to C and C to primary, also from the load. So in these conditions capacitor is charged, but when switch S is off, this terminal become negative. So in this condition D1 is reverse bias condition, but as we all know, the inductor stored energy which is released in the same direction. That means this point become positive. So in these conditions this current will flow through load to diode D2. So in second case, when switch S is off, the D2 is in forward bias conditions and current is flow from inductor to load, also from capacitor to load and load to the diode. So we get here constant supply with when switch is on, so which power is supplied through the diode, and when switch S is off, the power is supplied by the inductor and capacitor. So at this side we get the constant voltage. This is the mode of operation. When switch S is on, so the current is flow from this inductor to the MOSFET and these circuits. In this case, the this is the equivalent circuits. So the diode is in forward bias condition, so it is short circuited. So one source which is act as a DC supply, which is equivalent to the NS by NP into input supply EDC. So this is the magnitude which is appear across these two terminal, and this is the output voltage. So this is the equivalent circuit when switch S is on, and voltage available across the load is V0. So this connects the input voltage EDC to the primary winding. That means switch S connect the input supply EDC to the primary windings. Both the primary and secondary winding starts conducting simultaneously with the turning on of the switch. So when switch S is on, both winding start conducting. That means in this case the both winding the current is flow through the both windings. The primary and secondary winding currents and voltage are related to their turns ratio, which is the NP by NS, as in ideal transformers. As we all know, the voltage is step up and step down by the number of turns. So the secondary available voltage is NP divided by NS into primary voltage, which is EDC. So as can we see from the circuit, the LC filter and the load gets voltage equal to this magnitude, which is the NS by NP into EDC during the mode 1. So this voltage is shown across the P and N. So this voltage appear across the P and N. So the maximum output voltage which is occur at corresponding to the delta 1, which is delta is so mode 1 can be called as a powering mode, during which the input power is transferred to the load, and mode 2 called as a freewheeling mode and start with the turning of the switch S. That means mode 1 is called as powering mode because in mode 1 input power is transferred from primary to secondary winding, so it is known as the powering mode. But in mode 2 switch S is off, so power is transferred through the freewheeling diode DT. So this mode is known as the freewheeling mode, which is start when the switch S is turned off. So mode 2 when switch S is turned off. As soon as S is turned off, the primary and secondary winding currents of the transformer falls to 0. That means when this switch is turned off, so primary is disconnected from the supply. That means no current will be flowed from the primary winding. Also this terminal become the positive. That means diode is also in reverse bias condition, so no current will be flow from the secondary. However, the secondary side filter inductor maintain the continuous current through the freewheeling diode D2, which I explained in previous topic. So diode D1 remain turned off during the mode, but the diode D2 will conduct. So it is known as the isolated power supply, which isolate the secondary winding from the primary winding. So in mode 2, this switch is turned off, so this circuit remove, and the diode is only in conducting. So if we short circuit these two terminal, it become this P and N, remain L and C. So in these conditions, power is transformed through the inductor to the load and load to the also from the capacitor. Inductor release the energy in same direction, but capacitor release the energy in opposite directions. This is the equivalent circuit of the mode 2. Mode 2 start when switch S is turned off. So in this case, D1 is off and D2 is on. So this is the point P and N of the equivalent circuit are effectively shorted due to the conduction of the diode D2. So diode D2 is forward bias condition, so these two terminals of the diode are short circuited, and the inductor current continue to flow through the parallel combination of the load and the output capacitors. So during mode 2 there is no power flow from the source to the load, but still the load voltage is maintained nearly constant by the capacitors. So the charged capacitor and the inductor provide the continuous in load voltage. One important factor that directly influences the size of the filter circuit element and the transformer is converter switching frequency. That means if the switching frequency of the switch is very high, the size of the filter will be less. If we decrease the switching frequency, the size of the LC filter become higher. That means high frequency operation switches help in keeping the filter transformer size in smalls. And the switching frequency of typical forward converter maybe lies between the range of 100 kHz or more. 100 kHz or more, which is very high frequency. So control over the switch duty ratio, which is a ratio of T on time to T off time, provide the control of the output voltage, which is already covered in the DC to DC converter. So the duty ratio are used to control the output voltage. If we increase the duty ratio, the output voltage will also increase. If we decrease the duty ratio, output voltage will decrease. So now the relation between the input and output voltage. The equivalent circuit of mode 1 and mode 2 can be used to derive the steady state relation between the input voltage and the duty ratio delta. So with the assumption of constant input and output voltage. So in this derivation we assume that the input voltage is also constant and output voltage is also constant. So the instantaneous value of the voltage across the inductor is given by ELT, NS by NP EDC minus VO. That means this is the secondary turn ratio divided by primary turn ratio and into the input voltage EDC minus output voltage VO for time interval 0 less than t less than delta t. For this is the 0 less than t less than delta t. So up to this equation we can so this is the mode 1 operations. In mode 1 operation, the voltage across the inductor, which is given by these equations. When t is 0, time instant when mode 1 of any steady state switching cycles. So t is the switching time period, may be assumed to be constant, and delta is the duty ratio of the switch. It can be seen that delta t is the time modulation of the mode 1 and 1 minus delta t is the time modulation of mode 2. So this is the switching waveforms of the forward converter. So this is the load voltage constant. When switch S is on, the inductor current will be increased linearly from this value to the maximum value. When at this point switch is turned off, so this value is decreasing linearly. Again at this point switch is turned on. So during switch is turned on, the maximum this is the primary current, which is flow only during the when switch is on. So at this portion no primary current will be flow because the input supply is disconnected by the switch. Again the primary current will flow when switch is turned on. So voltage appear across the primary winding, which is equal to this. When switch is on, we get the positive voltage supply across the switch. When switch turned off, as we all know, the inductor release energy in same direction, the negative terminal will become the positive. So we get the voltage across the primary winding is negative, and its magnitude is minus EDC NP divided by NR. This is the waveform of voltage across the diode, and this is the waveform of voltage across the switch. When switch is turned on, its two terminals are short circuited, so no voltage will be appear across the switch. When switch is turned off, the voltage appear across the switch, which is equal to the input voltage plus the input supply. Also this negative voltage, which is added in the input supply. So we get the more value compared to the input voltage. So this is the complete waveform of the forward converters. So So GTO questions, explain the forward converters with its all the modes, mode 1 and mode 2 with the waveform and circuit diagram. So this question may be asked in your GTO examination for 7 marks. So you have to write in details. So in next lecture we will conduct the flyback converters. Thank you.